All right. Late post game show. It's the day after the Miami Dolphins got their fucking asses handed to them by the New York Jets. And I'm about to delete Twitter. If not, that I have a video planned where I talk about why I can't stand Twitter. Not even just in NFL sense, but that's a later video. Just stop talking shit to the Jets fans. All right. They don't give a fuck about the injuries. They won the game. All right, we all bitched at the Bills fans when we beat them with a secondary decimated with injuries. Admittedly, like, yes, was our situation worse than what the Bills' situation was going into our game? Yes. Does the media not give a fuck? Yes. So, will teams like the Bills will get the benefit of the doubt, and we won't. That has to do with just we haven't been good. We haven't been a good football team, and at least not a top tier team like the Bills have. When you're a top tier team like the Bills and the Chiefs, and you lose a game, you get a pass. No one gives a fuck. People graze over it. That's because they are aware that your team's gonna bounce back, and there's pretty much no question to it that if that game happened another 5 times, that the team would come out with one of them. Um, the other thing is that it's not like Miami lost by 2 points. All right, it was 40-17. Now, yes, some of those points were late. You could make all the fucking arguments you wanted. The Jets kicked our fucking asses. All right. No Xavier Howard. If we think Xavier Howard's gonna stop that, no. Xavier Howard wouldn't have made that big of a difference. He hasn't done shit all year other than that one play against Buffalo where he stayed with Diggs. Xavier Howard has stunk this year. Um, Byron Jones hasn't played yet. Secondary's been shit. And that's to be expected now from this team moving forward, I think. As you get to about week, what are we headed into? We're headed in week 6. We kind of know what we got here, ladies and gentlemen. We kind of know what we got here with this Dolphins team, and the answer is that this is a year where I think, after the first 3 games, I was thinking this team could contend for the Super Bowl. I no longer think that. I'm a realistic Dolphins fan. I don't bullshit. I don't attack reporters when they say negative things about the players of the team. I am 100% a fan who is 24 years old and has been a fan since I'd say I started watching in 2006, but I'd say 2009 is when I really started to get it. So not like an old Dolphins fan by any means. I've been a Dolphins fan my whole life, but I'd say 2009, once you're about, was that 12 years old area, you start to get it. You start to know what you're seeing on the football field. Not to the level I do now, of course, but that's when you really start to know the players and think about the different positions and first down, breaking down the game, starting to break down the game at a higher level. So since 2009, the Dolphins have been the same kind of team, and I've seen them go 3-0 since 2009 twice that I can remember. 2018 and 2013. This team isn't much different from those two teams. And that's going to piss some people off, and hopefully no hardcores are listening to this. But this team is similar to those teams. Let's talk about 2018, the most recent one. I'm not going to go back to 2013 because I'm not even going to pretend I remember. But I do remember that both times they were 3-2 after being 3-0. And the Miami Dolphins in 2018 were 3-0, and I remember after that third win, I was at the game where they played the Raiders, is why I remember this. They had those spectacular plays at the end of the game. The fan base is going crazy. Tannehill's our guy. And it fell apart. It fell apart quick. And they were still able to beat the Jets that year. They went all the way down third string, I believe. They did no, it was a different year. No, it was an entirely different year where they went to Brock Osweiler. But in 2018, it was a consensus that Tannehill was our quarterback and the team was going to be great and all this other shit, and then it fell apart. I'm not saying this team's going to fully fall apart because the schedule gets favorable after this week. What I am saying is there a player or two getting injured from being worse than the Jets. And I'm not saying that they really are worse than the Jets. If Tua's in there, I think things could be different. But this isn't that. We can only go off of what we really saw. And honestly, they still might lose that game with Tua. Oh, that would have been horrible if I would have went all the way to the game to see Tua lose to the Jets. That'd be pretty disgusting. So I guess I'm glad that didn't happen. At least I knew quickly it was over. Seeing Skylar Thompson trot out there. I mean, what are you going to do, man? You start dissecting this team on a deeper level. Take away your Dolphin fandom and look at this team as an outsider, just someone looking at the team. We all get wrapped up in this Tyreek, and I love Tyreek. Jalen. This team is fun. They're fun to watch, but they're not fun without Tua. Does that mean Tua's the franchise quarterback? I think so. I think it's pretty clear that when Tua's on the field, this team plays a lot better on all ends. Tua's a leader. Tua's a guy who galvanizes the troops. And you know what? I believe in Tua. I really do. This year, so far, from what I've seen from Tua, there's so much to believe in. And the good news is that it's not over. Tua didn't go on IR. He's going to be back. If not the Jets game, the Steelers game, he'll be back. Hopefully. So the season isn't over, but let's take away these Super Bowl expectations because it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen with this team. It's not going to happen with this defense. There's not enough depth. Byron Jones, they got to get rid of him if he's not going to play. Xavier Howard, if he doesn't pick it up, I mean, you're going to have to revamp the secondary. And if not the secondary, at least get some linebackers. There's no pressure on the quarterback. Like, they got Zach Wilson, twice? And you could show that highlight all you want, but for the majority of the game, Zach sits back there, has all day to throw, while Skylar Thompson got hit every time he tried to pass the ball. Talk about unfair expectations for an undrafted rookie. And you know what? Tua had to go through that the first 2 years. 0 blocking. 0 pass block. What do you want these quarterbacks to do when you can't protect them? What do you want them to do? But this team isn't fun to watch without Tua. And I really hope that Tua's back next week. If he's honestly they're probably gonna get the shit kicked out of him by the Vikings too. So how about just wait for the Steelers game, man? Get him out there in that revenge game against Flores. It'd be a damn shame if Tua doesn't at least get that shot, because I want to see that. I want to see Tua stick it to him. I know they don't like each other. I know Tua wants to be out there, and I'm confident that Tua will be out there. But we'll see. We will see. I know I sound more angry than I probably really am. That's because I had high expectations, man. I really did. 3-0. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When they beat the Ravens that game, and I really hope that positive memory doesn't go to waste. That was the greatest I ever felt as a Dolphins fan. Was that Ravens game. Honestly, and I'm going back to 2009. Since then, so almost 15 years, that was the best I've felt about a football team for the Miami Dolphins. There's been good moments. There's been terrible moments. That was the best one. That was up there with the Miami Miracle, man, because it felt like this is our franchise guy. I trust him now. It felt like this weight was lifted off where it's like, because you knew it. That was the important thing, was in the fourth quarter when Tua got the ball back, down by 3 with like 2 minutes left, you knew it was over. You knew Tua was going to go down and score that touchdown. At least I felt like I knew. And sure, I was still nervous, but I felt like it was happening. It felt like fate, and that's with great quarterbacks. You remember giving the ball to Tom Brady down with a one score lead late in the game? Miami didn't always lose those games, but you felt like you knew you were gonna. You know? As soon as you seen Tom Brady jog on the field, first play, first down, you're like, oh my God. I remember a Packers game a while back where Miami played a phenomenal game, and Aaron Rodgers got the ball late in the game down by 6 points or 5 points or something, and you just knew it. You just knew what was coming. And I was still in middle or high school then, and like I could still process that I knew it was coming. Though that's what the great quarterbacks do. You know it's coming. And that's what we've seen from Tua. And hopefully, Tua comes back and we could see more of that. That should be the expectation this year, is that we discover Tua Tagovailoa is our franchise quarterback, or we don't. Or we don't, which is a possibility. But I got confidence in the kid, man. Dolphins football isn't fun without Tua. That's all I got to say. That's really what it comes down to, is that the games are not fun to watch unless Tua Tagovailoa is playing. Because what are you watching for? We know our secondary sucks. The pass rush has failed us all year so far. Are they going to get better? I doubt it. I fucking doubt it. They can't get any worse. Everyone sacks Zach Wilson at least twice. I mean, I don't give a fuck about that. 2 sacks. There was no pressure when he did throw. So fuck the defense. I'll be back for the preview for the Vikings game once I find out if Tua's playing, or I'll talk about something else. I don't know. No one watches this shit, and I don't give a fuck. All right? Hopefully it's not like last year where they just start losing so much I can't even come back and talk about it because I'm just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. This team is just, they're the same team I've seen every year for the past 15 years. What am I going to do? Come talk about it again? Waste my fucking breath? Waste my breath making videos because I think it's fun. Once it becomes unfun, I don't do it anymore. Because this is just an avenue for me to speak because I feel like it. I'm not a fucking YouTuber. So, once I stop talking, the season's over. Just know that. Just know once the videos stop rolling, the season's over. So, I'm still here. That means there's still hope. And we'll wait till Tua comes back. Still a Dolphins fan through and through. Hopefully I'll be back more cohesively next time.